Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, we talked about the situation in Uganda about Kizza Besigye. Kizza Besigye in Uganda is an opposition leader in Uganda. And today, we are just back in Kenya and Africa at large. Because so many youths in Africa have gone to school, they are educated, young youths are educated. That is why these boys and these girls and boys have a lot of knowledge. The knowledge I normally used to talk about. These boys and girls have a lot of knowledge. That is why the generation of today is disturbing the current governments which are ruling the continent of Africa. Especially we can see in Kenya. We have a Gen Z in Kenya. Those boys are very intelligent, and they have pursued a lot of knowledge in schools and even in universities. So the government is using the whole knowledge, because many of them pursue education during Moi era and the colonial eras, and these ones pursue their education during this Uhuru's time, Kibaki's time, and some during Moi time. These kids, this generation, Gen Z generation, has so many knowledge. They are disturbing. They are the one who are making government not to sleep. So things are changing. Even the government themselves must accept that things are changing. The previous regime, the regime which ruled long time ago, and the people they ruled long time ago were people who are educated but their education were never reached the level of the Gen Z ones right now. That is why Ruto government is facing a lot of challenge in Kenya. His Excellency William Samoei Ruto. I'm saying the truth. So, when the government in Africa or in Kenya will stop looking how they can work with this new generation, then it will be very tough for the coming governments to handle this generation, this Gen Z, and those ones which are still coming, those generation, because these kids are growing when they are brighter. Some grew with phones. They grew with phones when they are still young, and they know how to operate phones. During the time the old people were born, there were no phones there. So there is a difference there. And nowadays, these ones, Gen Zs, grew up with phones. Some grew up with computers. Even hacking the portal of the country is not a big deal to them. It's not a big deal to them. They can do whatever they want to do because they are people who are highly learned and they have knowledge. They have a lot of knowledge. I'm talking about the entire Africa, and especially I'm dwelling in Kenya. That is what the government is facing right now. These kids, these Gen Zs are very clever, more than government of today. Those boys have a lot of knowledge. And for the government to have peace, the coming generation, the coming election 2027, we have to elect young leaders so that they can contribute their knowledge which they have into the government. We don't want to use all knowledge, the knowledge of long time ago. Those who have gone with time. Never tell people that you have degrees, PhDs, masters, which you pursue during a colony era or during Kenyatta era. Those degrees, they are expiring with the time. We have new degrees for Gen Zs. Don't joke with Gen Zs who have access to go to universities. Those Gen Zs who have access to go to colleges, they have a lot of brains. They have double brain. They have double brain. You can even see Babu Owino here. Babu Owino, our lovely leader, have have a very big knowledge. It's not a old person. It's still a young man with wide knowledge. So the government must work closely with Gen Z. That is how when they will have peace. That is when they will not even put in coffins. Their photos will not be edited in social medias. They have to work closely with Gen Zs. They must get advice from them because those people are very, very, very highly intelligent. You might be fighting with them with guns and whatever and abduction and whatever and everything. But them, they are using their knowledge, which is very, very wide. So the government must accept that the Gen Z are not jokes. They have to find ways of working with Gen Zs. Because when the way the time is going, also we need changes in government. These things are happening in the continent of Africa. In short, I'm communicating like this. Young leaders, young generation must be given chance to work in the government, to be elected, so that they can contribute their knowledges, which they have, which they pursue in these institutions, which they pursue in the universities all over the world. They are very bright, those people. They are not a joker. You cannot joke with them. You may think you are clever, but them, they are clever more than you. Hacking the system in this Gen Z era is not a big deal to them, but it was a very big deal during Moi time, during Kibaki time. You could not get the generation which is accessing the portal of the country in a very easy way, but then they can do anything they want because those people are very clever. Don't joke with them. Gen Zs are very, very, very clever and highly educated. With the system which is right now, they are very, 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 very clever. And they grew up with a lot of technologies which our leaders who are in the government nowadays never grew with those technologies. So we have to say the truth. That is a very big problem in Kenya, a very big problem in Africa. We must know how to remove all people from the government and mix the Gen Z's one so that they can bring their knowledge on table, the knowledge which can help countries to grow, Africa to grow as a continent. That is why the white men, they normally defeat us in everything. A white man, when the child is born, first thing he must notice or know what his kid or a kid is best at. But here in Africa, we are just doing things in random way. We are doing things in a random way. We have to access that the Gen Z have already take over everything in this continent. An example is our country, Kenya. The Gen Zs which are in Kenya right now are very, 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 very clever. Don't joke with them. If you want your prosperity in your government, if you have the prosperity or development in this country, if you have peace, you have to work close with Gen Z. And the coming election 2027, we must elect Gen Zs also to be leaders so that they can contribute their knowledges. Don't think that you people are the clever ones more than them. You cannot. Gen Zs are very, very, very clever. We have to share their knowledge also. Fighting, arresting people, doing whatever, this and this and this. Putting leaders into coffins and saying them that you will arrest them. That one is not the end of the game. When you arrest them, they form another formula. Because there are many, you will not arrest all of them. They form another formula. So know how you can operate with Gen Zs. They're very, very intelligent. The knowledge they have a lot of power. The challenges that we have people who enter government long time ago. They don't have dream of getting away from the government. They don't have that plan. Those dreams they don't have. They know that what they are thinking of is to rule the government until the time they will die. That is in Africa, all over Africa. That is the nature of Africans. They don't know that there is another generation which are there, which have a lot of knowledge, which also went to school and highly educated like them. They don't think of those ones. They know that only them are the one who can do everything. As Gen Z, watch their pace. It is very impossible. I'm advising the entire continent, the governments in Africa, to see how they can fix the Gen Zs into the powers. When their time come, the time when they will expire, so the Gen Zs can also control Africa and be in the government, and we see how they rule. Because when Gen Z, there is a time they will leave to other generations. That is the main challenge we have. But the governments in Africa think that when they have guns, they have bombs, they have the equipments, they have everything, they have the police, they have armies, they know they can do everything. Do you know when citizens decide to do what they want to do, citizens are more than everyone in the government. The population of citizens is very huge. So when they decide to do something, they can do it. No one can prevent them from doing them. What I can tell the governments of Africans, they have to work with the new generation for them to have peace, to work with them closely, to get their ideas. That one will help. Let them not think that they are everything in the world. No, it don't go like that. It never works like that. We have to know how to fix Gen Zs, and we know how to work with them. It's when Nairobi can grow more than the way it is right now. Kisumu can grow more than the way it is right now. Abuja can grow more than the way it is right now. Pretoria can grow more than the way it is right now. Cairo can grow more than the way it is right now. Victoria can grow more than the way it is right now. Addis Ababa can grow more than Africa can grow and become better. And even Europeans can admire to come to Africa and get some knowledge from us. Let always not behave like fools. Let behave like people who have seen far or ahead. Thank you very much. Subscribe, view, share, and share worldwide, and comment and like with your friends or comedians. Always, we have to solve the problem which is here right now, which is disturbing us. We have to solve them. It's when we can go somewhere. Without solving them, nowhere we are going. So we have to solve them, and we have to deal with them, and we have to accept that there is changes nowadays in Africa. People are clever all over. Thank you very, very, very much. May God bless all of you.